Hi everybody, welcome back to the final session of the Vinfen Celebration of Family Partnerships. We are so glad you could join us tonight. As a reminder, all sessions spanning the past 3 days will be available to view after today by visiting. You got that? I bet you didn't get it, but you know what? You can always ask somebody at Vinfen and they'll tell you how to get it. Today brings us many special guests who will share remarks with you, as well as seeing the completed artwork of Ruby, as well as, you know, a grand prize drawing. Okay, now here to kick off the evening is Vinfen President and CEO. We all know him, we all love him, and we're all so thrilled, especially me, to be able to call him my friend, Dr. Bruce Bird.
Thank you, Susan. Hopefully, maybe next year we'll be back to our regular celebrations. We're here at Gateway Arts to unveil a work by Ruby Pearl, who is a phenomenal artist. I've been a big fan for a long time of Ruby's, and we're going to do that in a minute. But first, we have some additional remarks that we're going to play for you by Acting Commissioner Brooke Doyle. Brooke Doyle is a social worker who has been in the private provider community for a while and has gone back to DMH for several years, has worked her way up to leadership, and she's now acting commissioner as Commissioner Joan McCullough just retired at the beginning of October. But Brooke has been somebody who providers like us have really worked with closely in a real partnership to try to make sure that the services we're providing are the right things for the clients and the families and the communities we serve. So here are some comments from Acting Commissioner Brooke Doyle.
Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to be here with you celebrating family partnerships. COVID-19 has challenged us all in ways we couldn't have imagined. We've been forced to adapt the way we support those we serve. We've adapted to telehealth, and we've adapted the way we participate in this celebration. And so many of you have been willing to go the extra mile to help those we serve, and I personally want to thank you for that. One of the most valuable lessons of this pandemic for all of us probably has been the importance of family and the family partnerships we're recognizing today. Through family engagement and commitment, you've been able to improve services for those we care about. I want to thank Dr. Bruce Bird for his vision and for finding a way for us to acknowledge and honor families who display the most extraordinary strength during the most difficult of times. Together with our family partners, we recognize that recovery is not an unaccompanied pathway, but one guided by an individual support system and community. You keep us honest in the work we do day to day, and I thank you all for your commitment to improving the lives of your loved ones with mental illness with whom we are privileged to work. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of this event.
Thank you again, Brooke, and thank you for the partnership and the collaboration which you have shown to us in the last year, especially as we've gone through this very difficult time together with the Department of Mental Health. And now it's a real pleasure for me to introduce somebody who I've been a big fan of hers for a long time. I have a number of pictures of her in the walls at Vinfen, and she does the kind of work that is compelling and engaging. And I think when you see this piece, you're going to understand that. Ruby Pearl has been with Great Gateway for quite a number of years, and her work is just stunning. So we're delighted to unveil this work, and then I'm going to ask her to make a few comments, but first I'm going to socially distance and step out of the way. So here's a terrific work that captures the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on children and families. And I'm going to unveil it. It's spectacular.
Thank you, Bruce. I'm Ruby Pearl. Bruce mentioned I've been here for a long time, which is over 25 years. And ever since I've come, I've developed a love for painting, mostly women, and I'm not sure why I have a wonderful connection with them. However, this painting, when I was asked if I would like to do this, I honestly have to tell you that it only took me a few minutes, and I'm not sure why, but when they asked me, I said yes. And they asked me, what do I feel it would look like? Five minutes later, this is what I told them. So being able to paint this from my heart, and it was just so strange that I pictured each one of these faces and how they felt. And I knew there would be a woman above because I paint so many women and they have so many emotions as I am and how I walk through life. So I am just like so enamored by my emotions putting into words and putting on canvas. So I'm hoping people feel the same way.
Thank you again, Ruby. That's just a wonderful painting, and thank you for those remarks. I wish I could give you a hug as usual, but I can't, and I wish you could hear the applause from everybody, but let's everybody give Ruby a round of virtual applause for this stunning piece of work. And thanks for all that you do. Thank you so much.
Oh, Ruby, your art is simply incredible. It is moving. It is beyond words and description. Thank you for sharing your creative spirit and talent with us. This truly is a masterpiece and will stand as a reminder of the lives we've lost during this horrible, trying time. For all of you who remember, our next special guest is the keynote speaker from the 12th annual celebration of family partnerships. She was wonderful then, and she's wonderful now. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Emily Perl Kingsley. And let me tell you a little something about Emily. Emily is a former writer who was a member of the Sesame Street team for 45 years. Her son Jason, who was born with Down syndrome, inspired Emily to include people with disabilities in the show's cast. In addition to being awarded 23 Emmys, you know what, that's 23 Emmys more than I ever got. Well, maybe I got one or two along the way, but Emily got a lot more Emmys than most people in television. She also received 21 nominations through her work with Sesame Street, as well as numerous other awards. Emily's been recognized for her efforts to include individuals with disabilities in the media. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a very warm welcome there in your homes. Clap and cheer for Emily Perl Kingsley.
They told Charles, my husband, that this child was never going to do anything. He was never going to stand or walk or talk or read or write or anything like that. And our recommendation was to send him away and that we should institutionalize him instantly before we got attached to him and go home and have another child and tell our family and friends that he had died in childbirth. On day 5, there was a social worker who came in and said to us, this is really funny in retrospect, that there was something extremely new. It was brand new, it was very controversial, very experimental. Nobody knew whether it worked or not. But did we want to consider something called early intervention? I mean, the first 4 months was just like exercising him and talking to him and surrounding him with a lot of color and a lot of movement, a lot of music and a lot of stuff. And when he was about 4 months old, he did something which indicated to me that he was making connections, that he could learn something, that he connected this with this. I said something and he turned around and that was the day that I made the commitment to my child. Fast forward about 3 years, it took about 3 years for him to be starting to put letters together and identify letters and then put them together and make little words. And then before you know it, he was reading little teeny sentences. And then I said to myself, wait a minute, this is what we do on Sesame Street. And just because he's got Down syndrome, not only does that not disqualify him, it's an extra. This is fantastic. I've got a kid with Down syndrome who can read.
L O V E. Love. What that say? Love! Oh yeah, give me a hug. Ha ha ha.
We got all kinds of mail from parents who were saying, I have a kid like that, and I never knew that my kid was capable of this sort of thing. I'm going to work harder with my kid now. He was really ahead of the game for many years. He was reading sooner than his normal peers and all kinds of things. When he got to be about 8, the regular kids, the typical kids, I don't even know what to call them, but the typical kids all caught up. He remembers everything, but his judgment is not as keen as typical kids and so on. And so what you learn is that every kid is an individual, and that you have to take the highs and you take the lows and you take the things that need more work, and you get your rewards where you can, and those are thrilling. He also has a disability, and he's aware of it. He's bright enough to be able to conceptualize it. He's very much aware of what he got shortchanged. You know, he says, if I didn't have this Down syndrome thing, he says, I would have gone to college, I would have gotten married and have some kids by now, I would have a house, I would drive a car. And your heart still breaks for that sort of thing because it's true. He is proud of himself and he feels good about it. He has written a book, he's acted on television, he's been on the Donahue show, he's done a whole lot of things. And he's working on another book now, which is terrific. It's just very exciting. So life is a crazy thing. It's a combination of highs and lows and successes and not so successes. I wanted to, reassure people that, if your kid is not doing so great, your kid is whoever your kid is, and your kid is somebody who you can love to the ends of the earth and do the best you can. Have the best time you can, and there are times that you're going to be really sad, and other times you're going to be very proud and happy. So it's like life.
Emily, thank you so much. You are truly amazing. We have so much to be grateful for. You're always inspiring us through your passion and dedication to the disability world. What a treat it's been to hear from you again. We all love you. Please come back every year. Next up, we'll be hearing from the Massachusetts Department of Developmental Services Commissioner, Jane Ryder. Commissioner Ryder has worked at the Massachusetts Department of Developmental Services for over 20 years, previously as the Deputy Commissioner and as the Community Systems Director and the Director of Northeast Residential Services in the Northeast region. Folks, it's my pleasure to introduce Commissioner Jane Ryder.
I would like to congratulate Vinfen on their virtual annual family celebration event and their commitment to recognizing the extraordinary efforts of families, staff, and people served during the pandemic. This past 7 months has been an incredible time for all of us. DDS has been committed to supporting individuals and families as they have faced the challenges of COVID. We took extraordinary measures last March by shutting everything down, day programs and visitation. We did our best in ensuring that all of our congregate care sites, our 2 facilities, all of the group homes, that they had the necessary information and tools to control the spread of the infection. We did our best to reach out to individuals and families through our family support centers to ensure that information and resources were made available. I know that the measures we took were hard, especially for the individuals and families, But the dramatic drop in positive cases demonstrated that these measures worked. And now we are slowly and cautiously reopening. Outdoor and now indoor visitation is being allowed. Day programs are opening. But we continue to watch the numbers. And as we enter the fall and the flu season, it is imperative that we continue to be vigilant. We all have a part in controlling the spread of COVID. Nothing that we have implemented in the past 7 months could have happened without the partnership of agencies like Vinfen. The work of all Vinfen staff, especially their direct support professionals, is nothing short of outstanding. Throughout this time, as they were meeting the challenges of COVID in their own lives, they never lost sight of their commitment to the individuals they support. I would like to thank everyone at Vinfen for all of your extraordinary efforts. For the past 3 years, I've had the pleasure of joining you for this event, and I always use this opportunity to talk about my brother Mark. My brother lives in a group home. He is 62 years old, and he has Down syndrome. On March 13th, I brought Mark to live with me. I was very concerned about his health, and information about COVID seemed to be changing on a daily basis. And I know I was very fortunate because I was teleworking at the time, and I had the ability to take care of Mark. But he missed his friends, he missed his day program, he missed his life. We FaceTimed with his friends and his residential staff, and we participated in Zoom calls with his day program, but it wasn't the same. Mark didn't understand COVID. He didn't understand why his life was turned upside down, and he was frustrated. So I know this has been extremely difficult for the individuals and families. And as a state agency, responsible for over 44,000 individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, we try to plan for every situation and be prepared. No one was prepared for this. But every day, I hear about the resiliency of the people we support, the resiliency of our families, and the resiliency of our provider agencies. They have all continued to meet the challenges of COVID each and every day. We still have a ways to go, and we are still coming to terms with what our new normal will be. But as long as we work together and continue to listen to each other, we will get through this. Thank you all, and I look forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Ryder, for your inspirational words. And we'd now like to share with you folks a special presentation that embraces the experiences and spirit of the last several months, as well as the challenges faced, which required strength, creativity, and commitment from many within the Vinfen community. Wasn't that simply beautiful? Thank you everyone for contributing to this presentation and allowing us to see glimpses into your world. And now Bruce will introduce our legislative honoree.
Hi again, everyone. I'd now like to introduce the Public Official of the Year Award recipient, Senator Julian Cyr. Senator Cyr serves in the Massachusetts Senate representing Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket, and has experience in public policy, health advocacy, organizing, and social justice. Julian is now serving in his second term and is the youngest senator in the 40-member body, but he's also the Senate Assistant Majority Whip, quite an accomplishment, and chair of the Joint Committee on Mental Health, Substance Use, and Recovery. He also serves on committees with oversight of healthcare policy, public health, municipalities, regional government, and education. And Julian has been a tremendous champion for mental health, substance abuse, and disability since he's been in the legislature. He's very engaged with the provider community and the advocacy community. He understands our issues and routinely fights for resources for us and for the kind of regulations and policies that really support us. So it's a great honor and pleasure to introduce to you as our Public Official of the Year Award recipient, Senator Julian Cyr.
Hi there, Julian Cyr here, and I just couldn't be more grateful and kind of a little stunned to be recognized as the Public Official of the Year for Vinfen. Vinfen does such incredible work across Massachusetts, but particularly on the Cape and Islands, which is the part of the Commonwealth that I have the real honor and privilege to represent. I really believe that we should be judged and we should be assessed based on who we look out for in our community, and that the work that Vinfen does for some of the most vulnerable left behind folks who are living with mental illness, who are living with developmental disabilities, that's just one of the most important things we can do. And so it is such a privilege to represent the Vinfen programs that exist in Barnstable County and in Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. I'm very grateful for this recognition. It's not needed, but very much appreciated, and I look forward to partnering with Vinfen, and particularly the people who work for Vinfen and dedicate their lives to providing the absolutely essential services. You don't need me to tell you that this is a profoundly difficult time, and I am just really in awe of all the people who are continuing to provide these most essential services through the COVID-19 pandemic. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to when we can all be together in person. Until then, stay safe and take care of one another, and make sure, particularly for the service providers that are listening in today, make sure you take some time for yourself and take care of yourself, because we need you and you're doing the most essential work. Take care.
Hello again. I'd just like to take an opportunity to provide a word of congratulations and thanks to Commissioner Joan McCullough of the Department of Mental Health. Most of you may know by now that Joan decided to retire on October the 1st after a long and distinguished career, and she has contributed so much to the Commonwealth. Joan, thank you very much for all of your work, and we will miss you, and please stay in touch. You've been a great commissioner, and we know you're going to enjoy the next chapter in your life.
And now we'll be featuring another video of special thanks to our brave Vinfen staff. Vinfen staff have been instrumental in ensuring the health and safety of the people Vinfen serves, and I can speak on behalf of everyone that we are eternally grateful to them.
For all that you do every day, thank you. You make this company what it is.
Thank you all so much for your hard work, sacrifice, and dedication all through this time. We couldn't get through it without you, and it's been so incredibly valuable. Thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you, Vinfen. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, all staff, for keeping us all safe.
Hi, I'm Stacia Bissell. I'm a TBI survivor, and I just want to say thank you so much for everything you do on a daily basis to help those with brain injuries have a better quality of life.
My name is João Siqueira. I want to say thank you to all staff.
Thank you for going above and beyond and for sharing your positive stories with us. You make an amazing impact.
Thank you for the staff. Thank you for the clients. The Greater Boston Area Office would like to thank all of the staff at Vinfen for all of their hard work during these trying times.
Special shout out to the Facilities Department for getting us all the supplies that we need.
I want to say thank you to all the nurses at Vinfen. This year has been very challenging and you've all done an amazing job.
Hello, this is Paul Campbell from Daring Road. I just wanted to send a quick thank you to Vinfen for all the love and support that you've given us.
I thank you for staff for keeping us safe.
Thank you all for everything that you've done as you have stood by people that we support in the most extraordinary and difficult times that we've ever had at Vinfen. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your compassion. Thank you for your creativity. We are so grateful to all of you.
Okay, folks, brace yourselves. It's time for the grand prize drawing. The name of the winner and the prize is located at the bottom of your screen. A huge congratulations to whoever won. Actually, a huge congratulations to all of you. Thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed this virtual 3-day event. It's been absolutely my pleasure and lovely connecting with all of you, even this way. I feel like even though we're not touching with our hands, we're not hugging, we are touching with our hearts and our souls, the true Vinfen spirit. I truly feel like a member of the Vinfen family. I treasure our time together. As we look to the future, folks, we certainly are excited to see everyone's faces up close and personal again, hopefully next year at that event. So in the meantime, please know how much I love you all. Thank you to each and every one of you who's participated. Have a wonderful night.